Saw, dude. My name is Squirt, and welcome to the first annual Cave Dwellers Cup rundown. We're going to be covering week 2. This was proposed after the fact, so this is a nice little trial run to try it out. So let's get it going. First matchup we have was the Golden Goats versus the Butt Snorkelers. Golden Goats taking this one 133 to 115. The Golden Goats we'll start with because they won. We have the MVP of Kelvin Benjamin putting up 29 points for Glenn. It's a huge help any week, obviously. One fact that I want to point out is that he had his wide receiver core in Jordan Matthews, Kelvin Benjamin, and Demarius Thomas, all totaling a whopping 58 points. It's huge. And with Le'Veon returning, just in time to replace AP, it doesn't seem like Glenn is going to be slowing down anytime soon. So my one takeaway from Glenn is he is 2-0 for a reason. He has some serious ballers on his team. So keep an eye out for Glenn moving forward. Going on to Squirt, his MVP is Matt Forte coming in with 30. The top scorer of the week from everyone, so it's a huge week for Forte. One thing for Squirt is that he has some potential, unless he leaves people on his bench. That's not going to help anyone. He had Diggs totaling 33 and Travis Benjamin coming in with 29, but on his bench, where he had Golden Tate, Victor Cruz, and Sanu coming in with a whopping 3, 11, and 4. So if I started either Diggs or Travis Benjamin, the game would have been a total different story. The other takeaway I have is that I am missing Gronk big time. We need him back, hopefully Thursday. But we're looking to come back strong in week 3. Takeaway for Squirt is get the Raiders out. -6 is never going to help. So yeah, let's get the Raiders out of there and move forward. Our second matchup of the week is the Battle of Monday Night in the Dirty Naders versus D's Nuts. Everyone knows the Dirty Naders lost this one to D's Nuts. I have 115 to 99, but I am confirming that score right now because that doesn't seem right. Let's see here. This is it. D's Nuts 99 and the Dirty Naders 97, so it was actually closer than I had written down. Let's get into shreds. MVP Greg Olsen, big week. He still managed to get the victory, having a pretty subpar week. He had 4 players in double digits. Usually, that's not good, but he still managed to have a pretty solid week. He got lucky with his matchup. I'm gonna have to go with Ed being a banger bust team. He doesn't have many stand-ups, but hey, you're 2-0, Shred, so good looks. My one takeaway for Shred is maybe start to look for making some moves here. He had some poor performances by big names, so in the coming weeks, maybe look out for some trade block players. For the Dirty Naders, Big Ben coming in with 18. Not the highest scorer, but hey man, he'll have better weeks. My note is having Cairo Santos as your second best player is definitely not going to win you a week. He had the second highest points with 15. I'm thinking Nelson had an off week. I think he's going to come back strong week 3. My takeaway is, like I said, he had a tough week. Don't worry, man. I saw, dude. Our third matchup, the Battle of the Brothers. This is where Dan showed himself in true colors. Dan versus Drew, the East Lords versus the Green Bastards. East Lords 130, Bastards 94. DeAndre Hopkins becoming the MVP for Dan's team with 24. It's a solid week. I feel like he's going to have a good season. He's going to do that all season. Like I said, solid week for Dan overall. This is some pretty big numbers going across the board. And only having 3 players in the single digits is going to be good. I took note of that a couple times on here. I feel like that's a big note. If you have like low players, but not a lot of them, you'll be all right. My takeaway from Dan's team: watch out. He's pretty legit to quit. The Green Bastards with Drew, Melvin Gordon. I expect him to get some more carries moving forward with Danny Wood being out. He only had 3 players in double digits. So you see the opposite. One wins, one loses. One has single digits, one has double digits. You need those double digits. The one takeaway I have for Drew is that his bench outscored his starters. So Drew, moving forward, let's try not to do that. Going on to Blitzkrieg versus Y'all Wanna Win, Put Booby in, Big Hoss. Big Hoss lost this one 114 to 133. We'll start with Drew's team, Carson Palmer and Eric Dechter. Duck Dick, how you doing? Co-MVP on this one with 24. When you have two players getting 24, you're usually going to have a solid week, as Drew did. 4 players in single digits, like I said in the last matchup. That's going to do you good if you have not a lot of people with single digits. Jay Stu on the bench, I noticed, is pretty huge too. He's a pretty solid player, but playing on the bench, that means Drew has depth. I think that Drew has a quiet, underrated squad. But do they stay consistent is the big question. For Dave, MVP, Matt Ryan, solid week. But you expect that from your quarterback. His tight end, Martellus Bennett, had a good week, but with Gronk coming back, what happens? Moncrief ruined Dave's chances. Dave had 3 people in Martellus Bennett, Julio Jones, and Matt Ryan all in the 20s, which I don't think I saw anywhere else. But he still managed to lose. My takeaway from Dave is, with Josh Gordon coming back, will that help or hurt him? I think he needs him right now. I think he needs him to come back and be strong as well. Father Jerry's week. Let's see what we got here. The Gary Bertiers versus White Lightning in Perry versus Jared. This is the first tie of the season, which is crazy because you don't see ties very often. 126 to 126. We'll start with Father Jerry, his MVP. I'm going to give him to Carson Wentz because without him, he doesn't tie. He wins. So he gets the MVP for being the Monday Night Football pick, but it ended up kicking Father Jerry in the ass. Like I said before, only 3 players in single digits. He's going to have a good week when you do that. And he scored without help from his running backs. Todd Gurley and Devontae Freeman, 7 and 9. Not big weeks, but hey man, he still managed to score it. Let's move to Jared. The Broncos D is going to be the MVP on that one. 23 points. That's huge. That's more than most players. Running back and tight end situation. It's pretty rough. So moving forward, I would say work on that and try to make some trades on that. My takeaway for Jared is your kickers and your defense will keep you and win you games. I always say go with Gostkowski, but he'll win you a game with those big numbers. Graham Gurneau with 18. That's the reason why he tied. It's because he had Graham Gurneau. Moving on to Team Gilliam versus Father Graham. Ryan Brady and the Romo win titles. The defending champ had a rough week, scoring only 93 and getting 0 from Jameis Winston and his quarterback. That's not going to help. MVP, D'Angelo Williams, with 22. But how long will that last with Le'Veon coming back? Moving to Russ, we have the MVP of Cam. My thing with Russ is I think he has a scary good team. He has Cam, he has Fuller, who's a quiet sleeper pick as of right now, but I think he's going to put up numbers. He also has Odell and Larry Fitz. So Russ could be some serious teams moving forward. Moving on to the awards for week 2. We have top scorer in Matt Forte with 30 with the Butt Snorkelers. I'm going to go with worst play award goes to Wentz over Tyrod or Fitz. Father Jerry, the Gary Bertiers. If you pick either of those two, you win. Not tied. I got best play. Goes to Shred with D's nuts. He dropped Hauschka, who ended up having 3, and he added Josh Brown, the Giants kicker, the domestic violence charges. Father Jerry stuff. Without doing that, Shred loses. So big ups to Shred again, man. We have the Battle of Monday Night going to Shred as well, and the Battle of the Bros going to Dan. And we're going to have this one award this year called the Solid Dude Award, and that's going to Father Jerry for trying. So that concludes the Week 2 rundown for the Cave Dwellers Cup. I look forward to seeing you guys during the week, obviously at Big Hosses, and I look forward to doing this next week as well. So one more time, I said solid. One love. After 2 weeks of the Cave Dwellers Cup, Golden Goats are 2-0. These Nuts 2-0. East Lords 1-1. The Dirty Neighbors 1-1. The Butt Snorkeler 0-2. The Green Bastards 0-2. Moving into the West, we have Team Gilliam 2-0. Team Blitzkrieg 1-1. Roma wins titles 1-1. Y'all wanna win? Put Booby in 1-1. White Lightning 1-1. The Gary Bertiers 1-1.